All right, how many of you have been hit with a non-delivery claim? Raise your hands. I've got a story for you. How many of you have almost delivered to the wrong house? Raise your hands. Couple times. I'm Brian, Instacart Bulldog. I've got some tips that can help you avoid exactly those types of situations. Let's hit it. First of all, welcome back to my channel, and for all the new subscribers, welcome. There are lots of you. Thank you so much for joining me, especially those who are joining from Jen on the go. Thank you, Jen, for the shout out. I really greatly appreciate it. This has been humbling, and it's also been exciting at the same time because now my channel has seen a lot of growth that is very encouraging and helps me to continue this series of videos to help Instacart shoppers be the best that they can be and avoid low ratings, possibly earn a few 5 stars along the way, and get bigger tips. So thank you very much again for everybody's comments. They have been absolutely wonderful. I'm in relax mode today. I'm taking the day off. So I decided to visit Blackwater River in downtown Milton, Florida. It's the next county over from where I live. I live in Pensacola, Florida. This is in Santa Rosa County. I'll just show you a quick look around. One of the other neat things that's here on the Blackwater River is a beautiful park dedicated to American veterans. Now, I wanted to set up this shot outside, but unfortunately it's been raining. There's a lot of thunder, lightning, and the like. So I'm just going to stay put in the car with my windows rolled up. And I've got actually the air conditioning off to keep the noise level down and the vibration from the car down. So I'm going to sweat it out for a couple of minutes to share with you a few very important tips that can help you be perfect at your deliveries. One of the things that you should absolutely do is have either the timestamp app or your location data turned on your phone's camera app. Now, this is really important to help fight a non-delivery claim because that can point you at the location of the customer's house. Now, keep in mind, that is not exact science. Even on my own house, I've taken tests. Sometimes it gets it right. Sometimes it says I'm 2 houses down. So you need to back this up with another very important verification step. A big reason for me making this video is I've talked to one too many shoppers who have said that, well, I was just following the GPS and that's where I left the groceries. That's the last thing you need to rely on. You have to use the 2 eyes that God gave you. Or maybe you only have 1, but that's okay. For this discussion, we're going to assume you have 2. When you're pulling up to somebody's house, you need to look around. You need to look for that house number. And those house numbers can be in a lot of different locations. It can be over the door. It can be on a mailbox. It can be over a garage on that side of the house. It could be on the curb. It could be anywhere. Or we've all run into these situations where there's been no house number at all. That just happened to me a couple days ago. You need to, again, verify, am I at the right house? As soon as I pull up to a house, either before I get out of the car or immediately after getting out of the car, I take a picture of that number, and possibly the house too, if you can, so you get a bigger view of the house. This way, you can match that number with the location that your timestamp app or your location feature on your default cell phone app on your phone would be giving you. So if you ever have to dispute a claim, if you're just relying on the data that's on the app, then you're going to lose that argument if it's wrong. So you've got to give the visual of the house number so you can prove you were actually there. So what if you show up what you believe is a location and you're not sure it's the right house because you can't see any numbers? And I have been in developments where there's been no numbers on almost all the houses in there. Take a picture of it and send it to the customer and ask, am I at the right house? I'm having a hard time finding you. A lot of times the customer will respond. If they don't respond, reach out and touch someone. Give them a call. Now, if they don't respond, you're just going to have to keep trying. Another thing you need to do, especially when they are a leave at door order, take a picture of the groceries for yourself on your own phone and then take a picture through the app. This way you can show that, again, you have evidence that you have delivered these groceries. And if possible, get that house number in those groceries. Now, sometimes that may mean you have to go all the way back to your car in order to do it. That's fine. Go ahead and do that. Take as many pictures as you possibly can. This way, if a customer ever claims that they didn't receive their delivery, you've got something that you can present your side of the argument with. And lastly, do not ever leave a hand-to-customer order unattended. The only time that you can get away with that is if the customer tells you it's okay to leave it at the door. And that better be written in their instructions or get verification through the chat feature of the app. That just happened to me a week ago. It was a new customer. I can't remember if it was their first, second, or third delivery, but she says, oh, just leave it at the door. It'll be fine. I said, yeah, but it says hand to customer. I am instructed not to leave it unattended. And there's another person standing right outside the door with another delivery. So I'm uncomfortable leaving this. But she says, it's okay. You can just leave it. I said, send me a message through the app that says that's okay. And I will send you a picture of it and I will move on with my day. And so she did. So I did exactly what the customer asked for. And no problem. So the sun's back out. I had to turn on the car, turn on the air because it's getting hot in here really fast. I want to tell you about my own claim of non-delivery. So it was nighttime. It was at a house I had never been to before, but I knew the neighborhood quite well. So I show up to the house. I can't find a number to save my life. So I literally stood out in the middle of the street looking for a mailbox, looking for something that had a number on it. And I found it, overgrown in weeds. Pulled the weeds back, took a picture of it, and then I said, okay, this is definitely the right house. So pulled into the driveway. The property is almost completely dark. There's only one light on outside of the house and no lights on the inside. I tried calling the customer, no answer. I tried texting the customer, no answer. So I saw that there was a car parked over by this handicap ramp and there was a light on at the top of that ramp. So I figured, okay, this is where it needs to go. So I walk on up and I drop the groceries at the door, take a picture, and then try calling again just to say, hey, I left the groceries at this door. Is this the right door? Nothing, no response. So I swipe complete delivery. I get 10 minutes down the road to deliver customer B. I get a phone call from Instacart. "Hi, we got the customer on the other end of the line and she says that she didn't receive the order." I said, I tried calling her and I tried messaging her multiple times because I wanted to make sure that I was leaving it at the right door. And customer support asked me, "Did you leave it at the right house?" I said, "Yes, and I'll tell you why I know that." And then I told her the story about how I was out in the street and I was walking through the whole area to make sure that this was indeed the right house. I said, "Tell her to check the door, the only door of the house that had a light on." I said, "It's at the top of the handicap ramp. If that is a problem, I will turn around right now and go back and relocate that if the customer wants that." Now that was important because you can't just return to a customer's house without getting their permission through customer support. So the agent told the customer, apparently everything was fine because the agent says, "Yep, we're all set now, have a great night," and then hung up. So that was kind of abrupt and it kind of concerned me, but I assumed everything was fine. After I got home, I saw the customer increase the tip by $5. I said, "Great." Then the next morning, I got this email. Well, so I followed the link to dispute the claim. Nothing exists. There's nothing under the order issue saying that the order is missing. So I'm like, how do I dispute this if it's not there? So I get on with chat support and tell them the story, and they said, "We got nothing on here that says you're missing an order, but go through the quality of items and that's where you're going to find it." I said, "It's not there. There's nothing there. I've got no issues." I said, "How do I dispute something that I got on an email when the customer has it that was verified through support on the phone last night?" Anyway, nothing else came of it. I was fine. No deactivation, no suspension, no nothing. So that was good. There was a couple of other times where I almost delivered to the wrong house. Now I want to talk about that for just a moment. So I'm in this neighborhood and no numbers on the houses, only numbers on mailboxes. Well, the mailboxes were on the same side of the street. This house and this house both had the mailboxes here. Well, it was a guessing game at that point. So I go up to the door, I knock on the door, even though the instructions said leave at door. I said, I'm not doing this because I don't know which house it is, because the customer left no description of the house. This was a fairly new customer. I was not going to get this one wrong. So the customer at this house answered, and she says, "Nope, that's not mine." I said, "Okay, thank you very much." She says, "It's probably the lady across the street. This has happened before." I said, "Aha, there we go." So it was a leave at door, knock on the door, send the picture, ready to walk back to the car. Customer comes out to get the groceries. I then explained to the customer, I almost delivered to the wrong house, and that person tells me that this has happened before. I said, I would suggest that you contact support if you're unable to do this yourself. Go in and give a description of your house to make sure that this doesn't happen in the future. And the customer was like, "Oh, wow, thank you very much." Another time I was at a wrong house, and it was in a townhome / apartment complex, and there was these rows of homes at A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. Well, picked a building, I picked the wrong one. I didn't notice it until I was walking back to the car to take that picture, that wide view picture of the order sitting there with the building number and the apartment number. That's when I noticed that I was at the wrong building. Thank goodness I double checked that. Thank goodness I took that picture out of force of habit to that wider view before I got back into the car. Otherwise, that would have been a very unpleasant situation. I certainly hope you're having a good day. If you're taking the day off like me, I hope you're enjoying it. If you're working, I hope you get blessed with a lot of unicorns. Please like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss more tips or bigger tips and better ratings. I'd like to see your comments as well. Your experiences with non-delivery claims or almost delivering to the wrong house. And what do you do to help avoid that situation? I'm Brian, Instacart Bulldog. Go get 'em!